Hi Tony, great to see you again today. Just recap on the work that we did during your session. If we look at your swing, there's a couple of things going on from face on the top left. First thing we noticed, from a pretty good setup from that view, nice move away from the golf ball, good full shoulder turn, get a little bit long in the backswing, but overall nice move behind the ball. However, now we tend to get very narrow coming into the ball. You can see there the left arm bending, very narrow, very steep, and then really you're just going to struggle to time the release when you're trying to get rid of your angles in such a short space at speed as you are doing there. Pretty good extension through the ball considering that, and nicely into a balanced finish. When we look at what we're doing from down the target line, we started talking about the angle the shaft was taking on the way back and comparing that to the angle that the shaft was taking on the way down. So here we have the angle on the way back, line extends down, a little bit out in front of the golf ball, so a little bit flat on the way back in regards to the shaft angle. Then during the downswing there's a definite steepening of that shaft, so there's an over the top move. So as well as coming up over and on a more upright plane, it's also steepening quite substantially there, so the angle of the shaft is steepening as well as coming over the top. And as you can see there, everything's way out in front of you as you're coming into the hitting area, consequently very steep, and then you've just got to flash at it with hands at the last moment due to the positions you're coming into the ball from. We take a little look further at why this is happening. First of all, we notice here, and if we compare your setup to what we see with Tiger, is if we take a line up from the balls of the feet straight up, you definitely sat back more on your heels than what we see here with Tiger. Tiger tends to be leaning into the golf ball a little bit more, so he's in a more balanced position. His body weight is directly over the arches of his feet. We see the effect that has during your swing. If we illustrate this with a line up behind you, and if we do the same with Tiger, we put the same line in behind him, what we're going to see with yourself is during the downswing there's going to be a big move in away from that line. You can see the difference between the position of your backside at setup and the position of your backside midway into your downswing. So you can see there that the hips are moving into the golf ball and the weight is more now directly over the arches of your feet. What we see here with Tiger is a move where his backside will stay against that line throughout his swing. You can see there's no movement in towards the golf ball with his hips. Consequently, the shaft tends to come down on a very similar plane to which it went back on. If we take a little look when we put you on the balance roller, the difference in your setup, first of all, we've now got the weight much more over the arches of the feet. So we can see there at setup, much more evenly distributed over this point here. We don't look anymore like we're sat back on the heels. From there, as we put the line up behind you, because we're in a more balanced position at setup, we're going to tend to move off that line less during the swing. You're still going to move off that line because you're conditioned to do so, but you can see there are nowhere near as much movement in towards the ball with the hips, simply because there's no need to do that. You're in a much more balanced position at setup. Because of that, we take a little look at the shaft angle. Better balanced position at setup results in a more on-plane golf swing. If we take that line down, we're a little bit more to where the ball would be with the shaft angle at that point. And if we then run the swing through and look at the difference between the two planes, both backswing and downswing, yes, you've moved above plane, but your shaft is parallel to your original plane. And as you saw during your lesson, your launch angle increased dramatically and your shot pattern tightened up. I'll be seeing you again in a couple of weeks' time. I'll put you in for a few weeks' time. You pop in the shop at the weekend, we'll discuss your next session. Great results. Sure, you're going to enjoy your golf more, and you're going to see those drives flying higher and straighter than you have been doing recently. Well done.